2019, depression is growing at an alarming rate. Did you know that 12% of Michigan youth experienced a major depressive episode in the past year? And get this, 62% of the state's youth with major depression don't receive any mental health treatment. Well, here to talk about how we can help is therapist Erin Lord. Thanks so much for joining me today, Erin. So appreciate it. We've got to talk about this vital topic. Can you tell me why there are so many teens right now struggling and battling through depression?
You know, there's no one reason why a teen experiences depression, but there are several risk factors that kind of lead them to have that.
Right.
And some of them are just their lifestyles, their age, their sex, where they're growing up. Just experiences like that can lead them to have some of those stressors. And as we know, a lot of teens experience just everyday stressors that kind of impact them. So thinking of like what might be stressors for us can also be stressors for kids. So a major one is life changes, having to change schools, or parents divorcing, academic pressures to peer pressures to family discord at home, all lead them to have some risk factors for depression.
Right, and understandably so. And I know a lot of people are wondering, you know, is there a way that we can prevent this? We may not be able to control everything, but are there steps we can take to help them?
Yeah, again, depression is not preventable, but there are some things that we can do to encourage healthy lifestyles that do help teens to lessen their risk factors, such as better sleep hygiene, eating healthy, exercising, using coping skills like mindfulness help to reduce some of those symptoms. Also, staying away from drugs and alcohol can be a big risk factor for them also.
Right, and I know that, you know, some of these scary statistics coming out are that these teens aren't getting help until 8 to 10 years later after these symptoms set in. Why is that, and what's the toll that can take?
For sure, we're not 100% know the reason why that happens, but we know that it does cause a lot of kids to run a risk of dropping out of high school.
Right.
And we know that 70% of kids that drop out of high school are in our juvenile, no, I can't talk.
Juvenile, right.
Justice system, yes. And then we also know that kids that commit suicide and have attempted, 90% of them have not received any services.
Right. Oh,
so it's just being aware of some of those risk factors.
And how can we help them get that help sooner then?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just paying attention to your teens and knowing what are some of those things that may be looking like depression. So we see kids who maybe are sleeping more, isolating more, are withdrawing from things that they used to like to do, maybe taking more risky behavior that they hadn't in the past.
Right.
So it's being aware of those things as an adult and watching them go on for longer than 2 weeks.
So talk to me about what you specifically do with Pine Rest Christian Mental Health Services. You do have a teen program.
Correct. So Pine Rest offers a variety of services. We have 3 different levels of services that our clinics and our main campus offer. So we have outpatient counseling, which is on an individual or family basis. We have group counseling for kids. And then we have our program, which is a partial program. And we are like a day treatment program for kids that are not functioning very well at home or at school or in the community.
Right. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for all that you do. And thanks for coming in today and talking with me and our viewers. I so appreciate it.